Today, we get the joy of patching some holes in drywall. Are you here to supervise? Make sure I fill them correctly.
Film correctly?
Fill them correctly.
Yes. And to clean up after you.
I won't make too big of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try not to.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have to come back from doing our new shower. And we have to fill in all of these holes here, as well as do some final sanding and prep work along that edge and back along this edge. And then we are going to take this out, since nobody uses these phones anymore, and I'm not sure why they had one in the bathroom.
I would.
Would you?
I would have one in the bathroom. I actually missed the landlines.
Oh. Well, that's there, and the toilet's there, so I guess you could sit on the toilet and...
What if they were in the shower and had to take a call? What if they fell and couldn't get up?
They made alerts for that.
Are they waterproof?
I don't know.
I mean,
Then we still got hold.
You wouldn't have yours in the shower.
I'm not old and don't fall down.
I'm just saying you should say sorry.
Say sorry.
Because one day you will be old.
I am old. So we have this spot here where the doorknob hits it, and at some point it's already been fixed, but I'm going to fix it what I think to be the right way, because I don't like any of that cloth stuff in there. So we're going to get to that. And then we just have some spots around the wall. We got a divot there. I don't know if you can see it, but we got a pinhole.
Hey, what about this cabinet if we take it down?
Why are we going to take it down?
Because I don't want it up there right now.
Why not?
We're going to change it out.
Why?
Because it's outdated.
So we got to change that. We got to change the lights, and we got to change that, and we got to change the toilet.
Look at the mirror. Or the light, not the mirror, the light. First of all, it's upside down.
Well, I didn't install it upside
I
down,
know.
but it is horrible.
Yeah.
I can flip it around. It's been that way 10 years.
Exactly. It's time.
Change is hard.
For you.
All right, let's get to it.
Okay. That's nostalgic now.
All right. Oh yeah, that's a decent size hole that we'll have to fill, but that's okay. I'm gonna need some scissors because I'm just gonna cut it and tuck it, just in case we ever need this again.
Not like today's wires.
Not likely. We're just gonna tuck that all back up in there. Like everything else in this house, it put up quite the fight just to get this bracket out, which I don't think I've ever seen a metal bracket to hold in a phone jack before, but that's how it was constructed. The guy did a good job. So it looks like I made it a lot worse, but it's really okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a scrap piece of drywall. I'm going to measure how big I want this hole to be. So I want it to come over to about right here, and height about right in here. So I'm going to cut a piece about yay big, facing up. So all I did, put my piece of drywall up there, do around it with a pencil. You want to cut out those lines using a simple drywall saw. There's our hole, and then maybe some fine trimming will be needed, but we're pretty much set up. Cover our hole. I'll take this knife and I'll just kind of trim the edges a little bit, just so that there's nothing sticking up. This spot here, I'll make a slight cut like this, just to kind of take that top layer of paint off. Do the same thing here. Next, I just took a scrap piece of wood. This is some 1/2-inch plywood I had left over from doing the shower. And I'm just going to place it behind like this. And I'm going to put a drywall screw in through the top of it and a drywall screw in through the bottom of it. So this piece of wood, if you look at it, I overlap it about 1 inch on each side. So you can kind of make a mark to say you're somewhere in there, right about in there. Now if you have a bigger hole cut, obviously you're going to need a longer piece of wood, but I still just overlap it 1 inch or 2. If it was a longer hole, you might put one of these behind it on each end and one in the middle. The size of the repair will tell you how many pieces of wood that you need. But this should be fine just to put the one in. So I'm just going to put it behind there. I'm going to hold it tight, put pressure, pulling it back towards me. Countersink that screw just a little. Perfect. So now we just got to take our piece of drywall and set it into place. And we know that we can put a screw in here and a screw in right there. There you go. Now you got a perfectly fit patch for your hole. We'll come back and we'll fill some of this in with some putty, and then once all the putty dries, we'll sand it all smooth. For the patching, we just went and got some of this, I don't know, Dry Dex. Goes on pink, dries white. Just be put on with a couple of metal spatulas, I don't know what you call them, what the technical term is. One to get it out, one to spread it. Hi.
Again. Hi.
Same process for this one. We're gonna peel this off. Ta-da! You can see how soft that is back there. Soft over into here. So we're gonna take out another decent sized square right there. So we'll take our, ew. So we'll take our piece of drywall and I'll figure out exactly how big I want it. Cut the drywall, and then draw on the wall, cut out the wall. you can see where it was busted back there before. But you can also see how the repair was done before. And that's exactly why it's blew out again, because of the same problem. So we'll clean some of this up a little bit. Back behind there. Then our patch will go in just like that. Another piece of wood. One should still probably do pretty good right here. Still see, oh, spider!
Ew.
I'm gonna safely remove him. Safely removed. All better. So you will have a slight difference because of the thickness of the drywall and the layers, multiple layers of paint over the years. So when you put the drywall mud in here, you'll fill this in and then you kind of smooth it all the way over. Then once that dries, you can sand it so that the edges are smooth and just kind of fill in the middle section a little bit more. But just take your time with putting it on. Don't put it on too thick because then it's hard to get it sanded off. You will have to put on multiple layers. All done with the first coat. That's our first spot we fixed. Second spot we fixed. They will turn white when it's dry. You can see here where you did some other spots and it's still wet in a little bit. But we went over the entire bathroom, patching different holes and air pockets and previous drywall work. All that and not a single mess. So it has been a couple of days. This spot dried. We sanded it and put another light coat over it. This spot dried. Sanded it and put one more light coat over it. We're going to give it a final sanding along with the whole wall. And then everything should be ready for paint. I know you can't feel it, but there's no rough edges, nothing showing. Used a good handled flat edge with this sandpaper that's made for drywall. This is the rough version. I'm going to go over it real quickly with the finer version and then it's done. As you can see though, it's nice, strong. It's not going to get pushed in again. It's not going to cave in. Perfect patch every time. So we finally painted. We finalized all the spackling and all the sanding. And right down there was the first spot. So down here is the first spot. And up in here was the second spot. And you can't see where any of that was. Everything is smooth and nice. She did make me take the toilet out. And in true redneck fashion, you just ain't unless you have come outside and got a toilet on your back porch. Right, Coda? That's right. So that's it as far as doing the repair work on your drywall. Like I said, still got another coat of paint. Got to put the toilet back in and we should be good to go. So if you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that other good stuff that YouTube asks you to do. And hopefully we will see you on the next one.